In an unexpected turn of events, a Singapore-flagged container ship, the Dolly, collided with Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge. The vessel, in a calamitous twist of fate, had lost its propulsion prior to the crash, rendering it a massive projectile hurtling towards the unsuspecting bridge. This unfortunate incident was not the ship's first dance with disaster. It had previously been involved in a collision in the European port of Antwerp in 2016. That accident, much like this one, was attributed to an error by the master and the pilot handling the ship's navigation. The Dolly, a name now synonymous with Catastrophe, was under a different ownership at the time of its first mishap. Despite changing hands after the Antwerp incident, the ship's ill-fated course seemed to remain unchanged. The collision at the Francis Scott Key Bridge was not just a mere accident. It was an unforeseen catastrophe, a disaster of monumental proportions. The impact was so severe that it caused the bridge to collapse, triggering a mass casualty event. The aftermath of the collision was a sight of devastation, with the bridge collapsed and people and vehicles plunged into the water. The shockwaves of the catastrophe reverberated throughout the city, prompting Maryland Governor Wes Moore to declare a state of emergency. The fallen bridge and the surrounding harbor, once bustling areas, have been closed, casting a shadow over local businesses. The daily humdrum replaced by an eerie silence that speaks volumes about the magnitude of the incident. In the wake of the disaster, the count of those unaccounted for continues to rise, with 6 individuals still missing. The city, now a landscape of loss and uncertainty, is united in its search for answers and hope. In the midst of the chaos, a distress call from the ship potentially saved lives by helping authorities close the bridge in time. The Francis Scott Key Bridge, a daily passage for 34,000 vehicles, now lies in ruins. This colossal structure, extending 10.9 miles, was a lifeline for many, built at a staggering cost of $60.3 million back in 1977. It now stands as a stark reminder of an unforeseen disaster. The Dolly, a Singapore-flagged container ship, was the catalyst of this catastrophe. Carrying no staff but loaded with Maersk cargo, it was on a routine voyage manned by its 22 crew members. The ship, however, was not unfamiliar with accidents. It had a previous encounter in Antwerp in 2016 due to a mistake by the master and pilot. At the helm during the Baltimore collision was not Maersk, but a different entity. The ship had changed ownership after the 2016 crash and was chartered by Maersk at the time of the calamity. While all crew members survived, the incident has left a lasting impact on Baltimore and raised questions about maritime safety.